So, let's get down to business. Give us the plot summary for the one we are recapping on this, Jennifer. Love in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Former sweethearts reunite in an archaeological dig in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. As they work together, competing for the same research grant, they discover they might still have feelings for one another.
Let's unearth it together. Curtain up and we get soaring music, and we see spectacular views from all across East Tennessee. There are bears and waterfalls, time lapses and lily pads. It's very National Geographic, and it makes my Tennessee heart swell with pride. The credits seem to last, though, a bit too long to me. Anyway, cut to an archaeological dig. Our male lead is summoned to a big find, apparently, and is super jazzed. Next, we see our female lead. Her name is Haley at a hotshot college. Was this UT? I was trying to figure out.
Probs. They didn't say specifically.
Yeah. Neither of us went to UT, so it's not like we would know. Armed with her PhD, she's getting set to take off to the Smokies to continue her big research project of ancient culture. Her professor friend gives her a pep talk since archaeology has been, quote, dominated by men, and she's on her way. We get more.
It's a man's world.
It's a man's
Always.
So very clearly we're getting this fish out of the water thing. Here we go. We get more scenery from East Tennessee, and Kaylin shows up to, I'm sorry, I do this all the time with these names because they never say them in a way that I pick up on them until I'm like a third of the way through the movie.
Yeah.
It's
I couldn't tell you what either of their names are.
Yeah.
What is it?
Haley. We get more scenery, and Haley shows up to a cabin. She's all, oh, this is home sweet home about it, and particularly excited about the bed for some reason, and falls fast asleep.
It looked like a very firm mattress when she flopped down. It was like, thunk. And let me tell you, this cabin is not believable because I have vacated many a time in the Great Smoky Mountain region, and this cabin was a little too nice besides the hard mattress because there was not nearly enough hand-carved bear decor around.
I was thinking
People
the same
love the hand-carved bears. They hold the toilet paper. They hold the, like, pokery things for the fireplace, whatever those are called. They hold everything. There's always bears around.
Where was all the plaid, too? Nary a plaid. Anyway, she's fast asleep until she gets an early morning cell phone alert notifying her it's time to dig. Just one word, dig. And so she shows up to dig, learns what's up at the dig site, grabs a shovel, and gets to digging. Sure enough, she bumps shovels with Rob, the male lead. It is instant oil and water with these two. Clearly, there is some hashtag history here. And we get it pretty quickly. They dated in college. Okay.
Is this when the the main guy, their boss, and don't remember his name, Dr.
Smith.
Somebody.
Dr. Smith, yeah.
Tough. I should be able to remember that. Dr. Smith, original, said sift through some dirt and you can sift through your troubles later.
Oh, boy, that.
I liked that. I thought that was funny.
He's basically like, you guys just get to work, please.
Get to work, yeah.
Anyway, she keeps digging. She finds an arrowhead, which is apparently like 1 point for her, I guess. Anyway, Rob tries to pop over day one to unpack their history and apologize and asks her to dinner. She's not having it. End of scene. But apparently, within 5 minutes, she has a major change of mind because the next scene we get is her showing up for some sort of swim in the waterfall. And of course, she winds up pulling him into the puddle of water that's there at the base of the waterfall. The change in her demeanor seems really sudden, Jennifer?
Absolutely. It didn't take much to soften her icy heart towards him, so he couldn't have done anything too terrible, right?
I guess. Anyway, they go grab a bite at some Appalachian cafe. You can tell it's an Appalachian cafe because they're drinking water from jam jars, by the way. They play.
I appreciate a jam jar.
Yeah, I love a jam jar.
I'm not above it.
No. They play catch up and quickly learn that they're applying for the same grant. Ooh, no, here we go. Point of conflict. Anyway, Rob and Haley run off to maybe UT, some university somewhere, to unpack their finds. Yeah. The lab assistant there is a guy named Troy, and he seems to immediately fall in love for reasons unknown with this random performer who's there doing a show about Native American traditions. Her name is Sky. The show's called Unto These Hills, and we get a lot of background about Unto These Hills and the whole point of Unto These Hills, and it gets a glowing endorsement repeatedly. I think to myself, this might be just a little bit heavy-handed about Unto These Hills. What did you think?
I actually thought that was some of the most fascinating stuff in the movie.
I know.
As far as the Native American culture and the history and all that, mm-hmm. I thought that because that beat comes up a lot, and I actually thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It just sort of felt a little shoehorned, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and his love for her was very sudden. I don't know what is in this dirt they're digging up, but they're digging up just hearts galore. Love abounds.
I know. Cut to a barbecue lunch, and there's more chatter about sociology and historical integrity between Haley and Rob. They go on a tour of an old-timey Native American settlement. Then they go for a little stroll by a creek. Haley's shirt is like inexplicably falling off of her shoulders. It's very much like
I wore the outfit on YouTube. I have my bandana around my neck and my chambray shirt. And at first I was like, oh, that just represents like she's carefree and loosey-goosey. This shirt is never on her shoulders the rest of the movie.
No.
At first it was just draping off one, and then she wore it around like off both shoulders. And for no reasons unknown to anyone. And then in the promo photo on Hallmark's social media, shirt off shoulders.
It's apparently a thing for archaeologists. Who knew?
So they're too busy digging to worry about covering up their shoulders.
Which you would think would be dangerous from a sun protection perspective. Anywho.
And they didn't wear hats. Or she didn't, at least. Put a hat on. I loved her short chop haircut. Made me want to lop all my hair off, but you need to protect your noggin, my friend.
Serious.
That's archaeology 101.
Easy for you to say. Anyway, while they're having this little chat by the waterfall about how she never meant to hurt him, he admits he was, quote, emotionally distraught, which, as a man, I've maybe said that once in my life, that I'm emotionally
and physically ill.
I know.
He doubled down. He's emotionally distraught and physically ill. But his tone was, I was emotionally distraught and physically ill.
I think he was trying to do that thing where he's like, I'm talking softly to this woman, and it came off as just...
It came across robotic and like he was reading the lines.
Mm-hmm. He says he's, quote, put his ambitions first, quote, and says, quote, I've never stopped loving you. She says she needs this experience to launch her career, which is funny since she's actually done no work since she's been there in East Tennessee. Basically, she found one arrowhead, and that's pretty much it.
I guess you tap out after that. What more do you need?
What more do you need? Exactly. She takes off by herself, stumbles in a creek, finds a cave, and is suddenly very excited about what she has found. It is apparently so mind-blowing, her shirt has yet again fallen off her shoulders. Now we're supposedly fly fishing out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. There was no talk about this, but Rob and Haley are fly fishing. He's teaching her how to cast. It's very much like that scene in Ghost where Patrick Swayze is teaching her how to, use a pottery wheel.
It was very intimate for Hallmark with the waiters. And yes, seemingly
Did you just say intimate
out of nowhere.
And waiters in the same sentence.
I did. Great American Family people would never. Okay, this was too risque for them because they were very close. They were very in the way.
Very close. Yes. Well, apparently the fly fishing expedition was very productive because now he's cooking up the fish they caught. They cheers each other and they sip a crisp Sauvignon Blanc while enjoying the view of the Smokies. First of the mountains, I should say, and then the markings that Haley found in the cave. She's got little snaps on her iPhone, her Bobo iPhone that she flips through. It apparently references some sort of crystal, and I start wondering if we're really going to get an Indiana Jones subplot in this thing.
Yeah. I 1000% thought she would get stuck in the cave and or trapped and or eaten by a bear. That's where I thought this was going.
Same.
And really, she just took some photos for the gram. That's all she got out of it.
And to be honest, this movie probably could have used a little bit of adventure to it. Something to give it
a little risk. A little bit of more risk. Now, when around this, I think this was before it was, when they were at the waterfall and she was going to go off on her own to the cave, somebody said something about a goat and she made a goat noise.
Uh-huh.
She bled like a goat, and I wrote, what the goat?
What the goat? It's because we were supposed to get that she was just a girl next door, Jennifer. She's fun and she's normal and carefree.
Well, she is fun compared to him because he is about as fun as like a rock, literally, that hasn't been touched in many a year.
Exactly.
Or talked to or looked at. But that's neither here nor there. Continue.
We're back spending time with Troy, the lab assistant. He shows up to the dig site, and so does the new friend Sky. They flirt and chat archaeology, and Sky goes digging for details about Rob and Haley's past. Did you see what I did there? That was pretty good.
I did. I like that.
Yeah. Haley finds a Cherokee sports relic, and they chat about Native American history some more. She's obsessed with finding this crystal, and she's also impressed by the tenacity of the Native American people. Rob's in for a tour of the Native American village that Sky's going to lead. We get a montage there. She is super, Sky is, in her element leading this tour at the Native American village. And we get lessons on how women had a lot of power in that particular culture and some yuck, yuck, yuck jokes from Haley. So, clear.
Because she's so funny.
She's
so funny.
And
she wears her jacket off her shoulders, and she's so funny.
So funny. Instead of trying to find the crystal, Rob and Haley have a pond-side glass of pretty cheap Merlot because you can see through it. He's swooning, she's hesitant, and things get a little bit teary. He goes in for the kiss when he drops her off back at her cabin a little bit later, and she's like, nope.
And she put up those archaeologist walls.
Yes. Yes. Haley is back in the lab. She's talking relics with her faculty advisor who sent her there in the first place. Sky pops in, and the gals go for lunch at what looks like the exact same Appalachian cafe that Rob took her to earlier in this movie. I know this because of the jam jars yet again.
I bet they have good bread and butter, though.
Oh, I'm sure they do. All those places out in East Tennessee do. Yeah,
I like that place in Gatlinburg. It's Pigeon Forge before you go into Gatlinburg, and it's the mill, the big mill, and they have the good bread and the butter, but they also have salt and pepper shakers that are little black bears, and they're very cute.
Very cute. I know exactly the spot you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
Sky over lunch offers her some Kirkland's wisdom. Quote, "Love is the greatest adventure anyone can take." To which my wife flatly responds, "Wow."
I appreciate the term Kirkland's wisdom that you just kind of slid in there. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's live, laugh, love, stick it on a sign and hang it on a wall. I like it.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. Troy and Sky have a flirty ice cream cone. She might stay for the fall, so clearly they're falling in love. Haley is looking for the crystal at the secret cave. Later, she shows off some new pictures from inside the cave over a fancy dinner with Rob, Troy, and Sky. They piece together the puzzle. We get more soaring scenery, and they're off for a, quote, very strenuous hike, and we get serious music. Finally, maybe something's going to happen in this movie. Maybe we're going to get some adventure. Womp womp, it's a bust, which the Fab Four unpacks around the fire a bit later that night. Sky tells everyone she's staying in East Tennessee, so yay. Troy unpacks the very sad story of the Trail of Tears, which, again, I really appreciated all the history and all the nods to Native American history, but it just kind of felt very, we got to do it here kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a little random, but I liked the fireside chat scene very much. It was probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. We're back in the lab the next day, and she's still looking at clues for the crystal. Haley wants to go for it. Rob is pretty hesitant. Sky pops by the cabin, and we learn that Haley got the big grant, so yay for her. Haley stops by the coffee shop with her shirt yet again falling off her tiny little frame. Troy's there, too, and he calls Rob to let her know about her plans to go search for the crystal above the risky waterfall. Troy and Rob seem unnecessarily concerned about her well-being, like she's in imminent danger for some reason. It turns out they're not concerned for her danger. It's just that Rob wants to be there when she finds the crystal, I guess. Anyway.
The way he took off after her, you would have thought that Troy had learned that she was dangling from a mountaintop.
Precisely.
But really, he just heard she was going alone. He rushes over to Rob's house, like yelling, "She needs your help." He takes off. Haley, Haley. I mean, it was just, I was like, this is it. Now she's going to get eaten by the bear. Here we go.
Yeah. Come on.
At least one appendage is going to be stuck in a bear's gullet.
Something. Yeah, I kept waiting for her to get hurt. Instead, it's Rob who gets hurt when he sprains his ankle trying to get to her, trips on a rock or something silly like that. He winds up holding her bag while she bolts off, all Laura Croft about it, and shimmies into the cave. There's nary a cobweb in this cave and some immaculate lighting, so this was not at all believable.
The cave did make me feel claustrophobic when she was crawling in, though. In the beginning, like it was the shot from the inside the cave, and it was just this tiny little hole she was crawling in. And then she got the shirt hanging off her shoulders. What if that gets snagged on something? It's very dangerous. I was very nervous. And then it opened up as she got into it more.
Yes. And they did do a good job of setting the scene here. We get some really perilous music, and I'm talking like Lifetime serial murder kind of perilous music.
Mm-hmm. I expected some corpse. Some kind of
like a mummy
bones.
in the corner.
Yeah, something.
Anyway, all we get are some CGI bats, though. Anyway.
That she was terrified of.
She was terrified. Exactly. Well, suddenly, she spots another carving. It's a snake. And then she sees some rocks, and she goes routing around, and she finds a hidden pouch. This is it. She's found the crystal. Here we go. She escapes the cave. She presents the pouch to Rob, and she decides to put it back so the legend of the crystal can live on. Ugh.
It may not have even been the crystal.
Exactly. At least look.
I thought it was like a toy or something at first. It looked like a baby doll. Like I thought it was some cool other little trinket and relic. We don't even know what it was. And okay, you can respect it. Can you just take a photo and then put it back?
Something, yeah. Could have been an airbrush T-shirt that some youth just happened to leave in there because they were in there drinking a Mick Ultra. I don't know. It could have been.
Oh man, yeah, could be. Like I went, then it says Pigeon Forge on the back, and I went to Pigeon Forge, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Yeah,
exactly.
Any of that could have been there. Could have been a shot glass. They love selling shot glasses in Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg.
They do. Could have been
their decor,
old-timey photography. You know, that kind of thing.
Fudge. Could have been some vintage rotted fudge.
Could have been like one of those plastic yardstick daiquiri things that you can get there. Exactly. Anyway.
Oh, man. I love Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Literally the best. They celebrate over a mug of tea, and Rob gets some fatherly advice from Dr. Smith, who has been working on this dig site from go. He encourages Rob to go for it with Haley. He, quote, doesn't need a crystal ball to see that. So Haley swoops in. She says she only wants to go to Arizona if Rob will go with her. And Rob immediately proposes. Okay. She says,
because he had the ring from
ready to
back
go.
When he was going to propose the day they broke up until she found out that he had gotten the grant and not told her. That was the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time around.
Yeah.
He was going to propose that day.
Ugh. But apparently we've worked through all of our problems, you know?
Yeah, well.
And she says, now I really love the Smokies. And the movie fades to black.
Okay, it's time for our gold or coal segment where we each give 3 gifts. If it's more gold, it's a walk in the park. If there's more coal, rocky terrain is ahead. And if it's a tie, it's just meh. Josh, I'm coming to you first.
Sure. So I'm giving some gold out of the gate. The scenery here is really pretty. Like, it does a good job, I think, of really showcasing the beauty of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It made me want to go there on a camping trip and revisit that part of the state. It's always a lot of fun, and I think they did a good job of showcasing that.
Agreed. I'll give some gold for the Smoky Mountain history, the Native American discussions. I really liked all of that. I thought it was random, the places they chose to insert it, but I enjoyed it. And I learned a little something too. So fun and educational.
There you go. For me, my next is going to be a little bit of coal. This plot was kind of a snoozer. It definitely needed some laughter, some better conflict. There was no oopsie doodle at the end. So we just needed a little bit of something to move this forward, I thought.
Yes. My call is there was zero chemistry between them, in my opinion. None, zip, zilch. It must still be buried somewhere because did not feel the chemistry between them.
No, we need to dig for that chemistry and see if we can unearth that one. My last gift is going to be Cole. I feel like the secondary couple here, the research guy and Sky, what was his name? Troy and Sky.
Troy.
Yeah. I feel like, and I might need to go back and rewatch this just to test this theory, I think Troy and Sky got a little bit more screen time than the main couple in this movie. It felt like it was more about their budding romance than the one we were supposed to be watching. It was a little odd.
I thought the exact same thing, and I cared more about their romance. I thought they were cute. And maybe it's because they were a new romance, whereas the leads we were just kind of like reigniting an old flame. But no, I didn't care about the leads. The B characters were precious.
Yes,
I agree.
Agreed. So I guess it's like coal wrapped in some gold, but overall coal for me because
it's cold weird. Because that's never their intent to make us really like the B characters that much more.
Yeah.
My last piece is Cole. Now listen, I love what's her name that plays Haley?
Ariel,
yes. So she was Lindsay in Gilmore Girls, Dean's girlfriend. And she looks a lot like Tyra Colette in Friday Night Lights, which I'm currently rewatching. It's not the same person. But anyways, I've seen this actress in other movies, and she's been great. And I thought she did a great job if she could have kept her shirt on her shoulders in this one. I just think she didn't have anything to work with. There was no, like you said, there was no chemistry. There was no oopsie doodles. There was no risk. It was just them kind of digging around and seeing what they could find. So I thought it was lackluster enthusiasm from everybody else. It felt like they were just reading lines. She did what she could, but still, I'm going to give it Cole. It wasn't enough for me.
Well, there you have it. Bottom line, the score here is 2 gold, 4 coal. We're calling it Rocky Terrain Ahead. Final thoughts from you, Jennifer?
I just didn't like it at all. And maybe this is my problem. I'm trying to look inward. Maybe I really just want to see the Christmas movies. Like, it is rare that I like an off-season movie, but I try. I go into it with all the right things. It's fall. This is from the Fall Into Love series. I lit my sweet cinnamon pumpkin candle. I tried to really set the mood for fall. What are you burning tonight?
Fall festival. I tried to do the same thing. I'm trying to get in the
channel it. I turned the air down so I could get cozy, and it just didn't give me anything that I was
flat.
looking for.
Yeah, it also fell flat for me. I wanted to cheer for the couple, but there just wasn't enough there to do it. Like, I found myself cheering more for these B characters. It was not my favorite. So onward. And that, friends, is another episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Special thanks to Nick Schwartz, as always, for our theme song, and to you for listening.
Hey, if you like our podcast, thanks for being here, and thanks for giving us a listen. We would love for you to review us, subscribe, be sure to tell a friend. Obviously, we're getting to the big time of year, and we really want to grow our community here. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well, so give us a like and a follow, leave a comment, find links to everything you want at our website, doyouwatchwhatiwatch.com.
Next time, we'll be recapping and reviewing Hallmark's new fall flick, Notes of Autumn, starring our queen, Ashley Williams. If you've been around long, you know we love some Ashley Williams. October Kiss is probably my all-time favorite fall movie. This will be hard to top that. But you can bet we'll have a lot to discuss. And until then,
may your days be merry and bright. We'll see you next time.